Alien Romulus is the seventh installment in the Alien franchise, set between the events of Alien 1979 and Aliens 1986. The film stars Kaylee Spiney, David Johnson, Archie Renault, Isabella Merced, Spike Fern, and Aileen Wu. It follows a group of downtrodden young space colonists in pursuit of a better life conditions, who encounter hostile creatures while scavenging a derelict space station. Andy Weyland-Yutani sending a space probe to investigate the wreckage of the USCSS Nostromo, collecting an organic object containing a xenomorph. The Alien franchise is one of my favorite horror franchises ever, particularly the first two movies. The first two movies are examples of movie perfection and are timeless sci-fi horror classics. The later sequels were not that impressive. Alien 3 and Alien Resurrection were just very subpar movies compared to the first two movies. What Ridley Scott did in the first one is only matched by James Cameron in this sequel, Aliens, till now, even though they are two very different movies. Disney becoming the owner of another R-rated franchise, I again had my doubts about it, but I have to say that Disney has not disappointed with their R-rated franchises they have acquired since taking over 20th Century Fox. They have proven me wrong several times by now, with movies like Prey, Deadpool vs. Wolverine, and now Alien Romulus. Fede Alvarez is a director I have a lot of appreciation for because he directed the Evil Dead remake and Don't Breathe, so he was the right fit to do justice to the Alien franchise after Ridley Scott had his Prometheus trilogy, that I actually don't think was that bad, had he gotten the chance to finish it. I think that the idea of having an android creating the xenomorph is an interesting one, and I like the ideas that were presented in those movies even though they weren't perfectly executed. Now we have Alien Romulus that takes place between Alien 1 and Alien 2, with a group of characters that we have not seen before in the franchise. I think overall this movie is a good chapter in the Alien saga, even though I had some issues with it. I will now go into detail with, because I'm going to go over the plot. So if you have not seen Alien Romulus yet, go see it and come back later. Rain Carradine, an orphan, works with her adopted brother Andy, a reprogrammed synthetic human, at the colony Jackson Star. After her contract is forcibly extended by Weyland-Yutani, she agrees to join her ex-boyfriend Tyler to a derelict spacecraft to retrieve cryostasis chambers. These chambers will allow Rain and her friends, Tyler, his sister Kay, that's secretly pregnant, cousin Bjorn, and Bjorn's girlfriend Navarro, to escape to the planet Ivaga. Andy's ability to interface with the onboard computer system is crucial for the mission. Rain is hesitant to send Andy but is convinced by Tyler and Andy to allow him to assist. They fly the hauler Corbelan to the spacecraft, which is revealed to be a station divided into parts, Romulus and Remus. While retrieving stasis chambers, Tyler, Bjorn, and Andy accidentally revive frozen facehuggers and trigger a lockdown. To override the lockdown, Rain installs a chip from a damaged android, Rook, into Andy, granting him access to the station while also updating his thought processing and general efficiency. Unbeknownst to the others, this also changes his prime directive, making him loyal solely to Weyland-Yutani. As the group flees the chamber, a facehugger latches onto Navarro. Rain reactivates Rook, who discloses that the station's crew was killed by the xenomorph and its clones. While Tyler tries to remove the creature, Rook warns it may have implanted a seed. Despite Andy's attempts to stop him, Bjorn flees with Navarro on the Corbelan. A chest burster emerges from Navarro, killing her. The Corbelan with Kay and Bjorn aboard crashes into the Romulus hangar, jeopardizing the station's orbit and leaving less than an hour before it collides with Jackson's planetary rings. Kay is knocked unconscious from the impact and the chest burster escapes into the ship. She regains consciousness and runs into Bjorn, who discovers and attacks the xenomorph, gestating into its adult form before dying from its acid blood. Rain and Tyler navigate to the bay while avoiding the facehuggers. Kay escapes the Corbelan but is stalked by a xenomorph trying to lure the others into a trap. Andy refuses to unlock the door so as not to put everyone at risk, and they watch helplessly as Kay is attacked and dragged away. Andy finds samples of a compound scientists had extracted from the xenomorphs, which Rook calls the Prometheus fire, intended to perfect humans. Rook insists the samples must be brought to the colony and prevents the Corbelan from leaving without them. Rain and Tyler rescue Kay from a cocoon, but Tyler is killed and Andy is incapacitated. Badly injured, Kay injects herself with the compound during their escape. Rain returns to the Romulus, helps Andy by removing the control chip, thus returning his loyalty to Rain, and disables the ship's gravity in order to shoot the xenomorphs while keeping their blood away from the hull. They make it back to the Corbelan just before the station crashes into the rings, destroying Rook. As Rain and Andy prepare for their trip to Ivaga, Kay, affected by the compound injection, gives birth to a rapidly growing human xenomorph hybrid. The hybrid kills Kay and injures Andy, but Rain manages to eject the creature into Jackson's rings. She places Andy in a chamber and records a log about their arrival at Ivaga, before entering stasis herself. So if you have seen all the movies in this franchise, including the Alien vs Predator movies and the later sequels after Alien 2, you know that these differ a lot in quality. The two best movies are the first two for me, then Alien Romulus, and after that I would say Ridley Scott's Prometheus movies, that had their flaws but like I mentioned earlier, had their own unique interesting ideas. This movie goes back to the simplicity of the first Alien movie in a lot of ways. The horror, the contained story, the claustrophobic feeling of being on a ship hunted by the xenomorph. All that works very well in this movie. It is a nice return to form when it comes to that. The cast do a great job here portraying their characters. The movie visually looks great, with great wide frames showing the very run-down environment these space truckers work in. Two very intimate close-ups showing character moments. The production design is great. All the ships, environments, costume design and CGI looks good. It is an interesting story overall. I just wish they had taken some more chances with the story that they had. There is way too many callbacks in this movie to earlier movies in the franchise, especially the original Alien, even though they work within the movie's story, that it takes place between Alien 1 and 2, we get some unnecessary dialogue to earlier films that at times even don't make sense if you think about when this movie takes place. There is a line in this movie from the new android character. It is a very famous line delivered by Ellen Ripley in Aliens.
Get away from her, you bitch!
And it's repeated here from the new android character, even though the movie takes place between Alien and Aliens. In fact, Romulus takes place 37 years before that line of dialogue is even spoken in Aliens. Sure, you could say it's just for the fans, but it just doesn't make sense for a very iconic line like that to be used 37 years before it was even uttered originally. Other things I have issue with is that we get to see the android from the original movie again here. The group of characters in this movie find him disconnected on the Nostromo. Then they connect him and we get the full likeness of that android. It's logical, but at the same time it feels like the movie relies too much on nostalgia. But overall, this is a better movie than Alien 3 and Alien Resurrection, with its great idea of having the abomination xenomorph newborn. And some of the Alien vs Predator movies. I am giving this movie a 7 out of 10. This has been Boogeyman Cinema. Thank you for watching. In the fall I will get back to scheduled videos, but before then I will be making some random videos here and there. So keep an eye out for my next upload until then. Bye for now.